Welcome into Steelers Latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get right into it as the QB situation is slimming out more and more in free agency as days go by. A couple days ago, Drew Lock signed with Seattle. I know I haven't mentioned it much, but these are some names coming off the market now. The Steelers are losing more chances to sign a quarterback for next season. The plan is to have four. It's not going to be a lot. Also, a name I have talked about a decent amount, Joe Flacco. He signs back with the Browns. That reunion will happen. A couple reunions right there. But it's not looking good for us as the QB options do continue to thin. If Rodgers does not sign, there's really no one left out there to get. So it's all up in Rodgers' hands at this point right now. We'll talk a little bit more about Rodgers later, but he is the last major guy out there. I mean, not upset about missing out on Drew Lock. Little upset about missing out on Joe Flacco. I think he would have been a great guy to have on the bench for a rookie quarterback if Rodgers wasn't to come to town. But let's talk about another option at quarterback here that is being rumored more and more to come to Pitt now since Flacco signed with the Browns. The Browns were the number one option for Kirk Cousins to get traded to entering yesterday and coming out of yesterday. Now the Steelers are high up there on the list of possible landing spots for Kirk Cousins next year. We know Atlanta doesn't want to keep Kirk next year. They're done with the Kirk Cousins experiment. The issue with bringing in Kirk Cousins to Pittsburgh, his contract's massive, absolutely massive. It was 4 years, 180 million. This upcoming year, it's going to be 27.5 million. And not willing to take on such a price tag for someone that had such an awful season last year. And mostly, he started off pretty well with them, but that last 5 game stretch he had with them, one touchdown to 11 interceptions. The first four of those 5 games, he didn't throw a touchdown at all. That is as bad as it gets. That is something we do not need in the Bird. You never know, though, if we do trade for him, he could possibly pull it back together. He performed well in Minnesota, a stable franchise, so maybe the stable franchise like the Steelers could help Kirk Cousins rejuvenate his career a little bit and be able to end it on a good note. But in my opinion, he's never been better than Rodgers in any point of his career. Even last year, I think Rodgers was better than him. If Rodgers is still on the table, which it is right now, Rodgers is on the table still right now. I think that is definitely the better move than Kirk Cousins. They're both Achilles injuries. They both can't move. I think the one with the better upside would be Aaron Rodgers. If I'm being for real here, I just think it would be dreadful bringing in Kirk Cousins. I don't think that would play out well. I think whoever was on the bench would come in probably halfway through the season. And I've been a Cousins fan. It's just last year was really bad, and how he ended last year was just makes it hard to believe in such a guy. But let's talk about some of the frustrations that are happening in this locker room as Pittsburgh Steelers players and staff don't really know what's going on. Don't really think there's a plan about the quarterback situation right now, and that is causing frustration in the locker room in abundance right now. We saw Cam Hayward. He had comments on Aaron Rodgers a month ago about not doing any darkness retreats and how if you want to be a Steeler, you're going to be a Steeler. He cleared those messages up saying he wasn't trying to call him out, but it seems to be a message that's reigning true in the locker room as a lot of guys, they're 10 days out from mini camp, from off-season workouts. They don't want any of these questions to be up in the air anymore. They're kind of upset with the front office and probably Coach Tomlin right now, if I was to bet, just because you'd like your coach to lay out a clear plan for you. And when you don't have the major leader of the offense in the building yet, it's like, oh, how are we going to do next year? We don't really know. So, as fans have been frustrated, it seems like the players can relate to us much right now, as there's still no quarterback in town. Aaron Rodgers could retire, and then the Steelers could just be screwed next year if we still don't have a solution after the draft, and our only solution is to get Rodgers. So we could end up just being screwed all next year, but we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. But let's talk about MSN's top options for us at 21. They had an article today talking about what the Steelers should do with the 21st pick, and I just thought I'd give a little reaction to this. I'll start off with my least favorite option. This was running back Marion Hampton out of North Carolina. He's strong, physical back that could get the job done. I think he's really solid, but once again, I'm not a running back in the first round trying to die. I think the running back position is way too dependent of a position to take in the first round. They're relying heavily on the offensive line to open holes. I know someone like Marion Hampton is more of a physical back, so he can kind of open holes sometimes himself by running over people. But I don't know if this is the move I'd go with. I'd go with the Iowa running back in the third round if he's still there. I just hope he was still there by the third round if you're going running back. I just don't see running back in first round being that productive of a pick, that much of an impact player. It's just something I've always said. I don't like running back first round, and I'm gonna stick to my guns. Avoid a Marion Hampton in the first round. Let another team take him. I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry about it if y'all wanted him. But let's move on to the second favorite, I guess, or the second worst. Jackson Dart. Once again, an option for us at 21. I've been saying he very much scares me of the Kenny Pickett experience, part two. The good news about Jackson Dart is he did look pretty solid at the combine. I will give him that. I will give him that. Now, how much staff do we put in to the combine? Me personally, I don't put a lot of weight on combine performances unless they're really bad. If they're really good, like you should do good at the combine, everything's set up perfectly for you to succeed. So when you do it well, it's nothing to me. When you perform bad, it's something, a lot of something to me. But Jackson Dart, once again, I don't want the Kenny Pickett experience part two, but he has that play action system in at Old Miss. It might translate well with how the Arthur Smith wants to run an offense. So that is the positive of possibly taking Jackson Dart in the first round. I don't want to be all negative on him. I'm going to give you a couple positives about him. He also has solid accuracy. He ranked first in I'm trying to remember what passing stat it was, but in college he ranked first in some passing stat. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. I should have wrote that one down. But I don't know if that's my guy. I still prefer maybe Will Howard or Jalen Milroe in the later rounds, but we will see how the quarterback position plays out. Maybe him sitting behind Rodgers, if we do sign Rodgers, wouldn't be that bad of a deal. But let's move on to my favorite prospect they talked about, Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon. The more I think about it, the more it kind of makes sense going after a defensive tackle just because Cam Hayward's on the last leg here. He's 36 years old, and Demarion or Derek Harmon, he has the size. He has a lot of the intangibles that or the physical gifts that Cam Hayward had coming out of college. Him sitting behind Cam Hayward in that rotation with Cam Hayward could benefit his game a lot. He's a strong physical pass rusher who just is able to get up the middle a lot at Oregon. So that's the most interesting one out of these three, I do believe. You all let me know in the comment section who you would like out of those three. But this has been Steelers Latest. I've been your host, Cole Denis, and I will see you Monday.